It began like any other calm afternoon inside George Washington University. A youth leadership panel, cameras flashing, bright lights reflecting off polished floors, students whispering about politics and ambition. Nothing extraordinary until Barron Trump leaned forward with that confident grin that only the powerful carry and said the words that froze the entire room. Congresswoman Crockett, if you believe so much in critical thinking, let's test it. You and me, an IQ challenge. The silence that followed was electric. Phones came up instantly, recording history before anyone could breathe. Barron sat tall, his tone smooth but sharp, the kind of confidence that grows in the shadow of fame. Across from him, Jasmine Crockett didn't even blink. She simply leaned toward the microphone and said, "Tests can show intelligence, Barron, but so can restraint." A ripple spread through the crowd, half laughter, half awe. That one line cut deeper than an insult.
A major event. I think it could be bigger than the Super Bowl and Jake Paul fighting Dick Van Dyke combined. It could be very big. And all the credit goes to strongly believes he would trounce two of his least favorite ladies in an IQ test.
But Barron wasn't done. He pressed again, talking about numbers and logic, his words fast and pointed. Jasmine only smiled faintly. "The real test," she said softly, "is knowing when to speak and when to listen."
Challenge you to a duel of the medulla, yes?
I am very well aware. I know that he can't seem to he can end this shutdown, but he does have time to troll me. So listen, if he's down, I'm down.
The audience exhaled as if they had been holding their breath for a full minute. Cameras zoomed in. Tension thickened. Barron's smirk wavered. Jasmine didn't even blink. She reached into her folder, slow and deliberate, and placed a sealed letter on the table, cream-colored, gold-stamped, untouched. The camera caught every motion. "What's that?" Barron asked. Jasmine's answer was calm. "You'll find out soon enough." That's when the world went wild. Within hours, hashtag IQ Challenge and hashtag the letter exploded across social media. Millions of people demanded to know what was inside the mysterious envelope. Late-night shows joked about it, analysts speculated, and memes called Jasmine the calm before the clapback. The next evening they met again, this time at a youth policy event in Arlington. Barron arrived first, more determined than ever. He carried an official IQ sheet, waving it proudly to the cameras. "Since you declined yesterday, I made it official." Gasps filled the room. The moderator tried to intervene, but Barron continued, "If leadership is about intellect, then show it." Jasmine took her time, sipping water as the camera zoomed in on her calm expression. "You can measure IQ, Barron, but not humility, empathy, or wisdom." The crowd went silent, and then she added, "People like to say women of color are low IQ. Let me be clear, I have more education than he does. Degree-wise, that's just fact." Barron smirked and fired back. "That sounds like something people say when they're afraid of results." The room murmured, tension shifting from amusement to unease. Jasmine leaned forward again, her voice steady. "Then test my record. Test my work. Test the people I've served. That's what real intelligence builds." The applause that followed drowned out the microphones. Barron leaned back, silent for the first time. Jasmine looked at him and said, "It's not a speech, Barron. It's experience." That line echoed across the internet. Clips went viral. Commentators called it the IQ showdown of the decade. But the world had only seen the beginning. 2 nights later, a national television stage, bright and merciless. The host introduced them to a roaring crowd. Everyone knew what they wanted, to see what was in the letter. Jasmine placed it gently on the glass table. The studio fell silent. Even the lights seemed to dim in anticipation. Then, slowly, she broke the seal. Inside was an official congressional commendation, signed and embossed, recognizing her bipartisan work on digital transparency reform, a law already passed across both parties. The crowd erupted in applause. The host blinked, stunned. Barron sat frozen, searching for words. I didn't know it was approved," he muttered. Jasmine smiled softly. "That's what research is for." The crowd laughed, then cheered. In that moment, the internet crowned her victory. Headlines screamed, "The letter that crushed Barron Trump." Memes flooded the timeline. Commentators called it a masterclass in composure. But backstage, away from the cameras and the chaos, Jasmine sat alone, holding that same letter.
Or continues to put it out there that women of color somehow are low IQ. Let me be clear. I have a lot more education than he does. This is just what it is, degree-wise. I have earned my degree.
I believe this would be a once-in-a-lifetime television event. I want to give lightweights a thing or two about brain power live on national television. I'm calling it the James C. Kimmel Cognitive Aptitude and Mental Brilliance Invitational.
Her face was calm, but her eyes said everything. In a whisper meant for no one but herself, she said, "I just wanted people to think before they speak." By morning, news networks replayed the scene from every angle. Psychologists analyzed the power dynamics. Political strategists called it the most graceful takedown in recent memory. And through all the noise, one truth stood taller than any headline. It wasn't the IQ test that defined intelligence that week. It was preparation. It was humility. It was the strength to stay composed when provoked and the courage to let silence finish the argument. Because in a world where everyone wants to shout the loudest, the smartest person in the room is often the one who knows when to stay silent.
A Republican response to us allegedly holding the government hostage is to go out and hurt the people, the very people that are serving our country and serving our constituents. This tells you who it is that they are fighting for. They didn't say they were going to hurt the billionaires. They said they were going to hurt the very people that make this government go. And honestly, I don't think they need a shutdown as an excuse to hurt them, because we've seen the illegal firings and the illegal rifts, and we've seen all the court cases, and we've seen them have to go back because they're idiots and don't know who they're firing. And then they're like, oh, never mind, I may need you back. So, you know, this is just another excuse for them to do the very inhumane things that they want to do.